So, yes, being a hot chick is also being a lady, absolutely. But it's supposed to make women feel good and laugh and feel confident and feminine and girly and hot.
So here's the problem I always have with both of these kinds of books is women is such a broad group, and I don't like really anything that says all women should do something a certain way. And isn't there enough room? Yes, we all have internal genitalia, but some women like one-night stands. Some women want to be married for 50 years. Some women are in the middle. I mean, isn't there enough room for the breadth of this enormous group?
Absolutely.
Well, first of all, my book is basically the supreme repository of all knowledge about relationships. It's more an encyclopedia than just a book. It's 26 volumes and pressed into one. It therefore is allowed to be generally so. I mean, there's almost something divine about it, if I want to be honest. But let me address your question.
And by the way, I wrote a blurb on this book,
As you
which
did.
I meant every word
You
that I
did.
found in the book unsettlingly knowledgeable about female eroticism.
Can you expand on that? Because, yeah. Okay, so you're asking a very good question. And it is absolutely true that many studies, countless studies have been done that actually prove that there is an overall female sexuality. Here, I'll give you an example. Sheer Height, who was a very ardent feminist and would never conform to orthodoxies about women, she's the one that found the statistic that only 6% of women who are in happy marriages cheat on their husbands.
6?
Only 6%. So 94% of women who are happy in their marriages will not cheat on their husbands. That's an astonishing thing that has been replicated, which shows that female sexuality is not about variety, and it's not about novelty. It's about deep emotional satisfaction, and if women have lived with their husbands, they don't cheat. Conversely, unfortunately, she found in the Height report on male sexuality that 87% of men who cheat on their wives claim to love their wives. But men do look for that variety, and they get bored in this monotonous, which they translate as monogamous, routine. There's many other things about female sexuality that we can state that are accurate generalizations. And to prove some of them, and to prove my point, that sex outside of a more committed, more emotionally fulfilling relationship is actually bad sex. Here, I'll prove it, because you said some women like one-night stands. So the question is, after they have a one-night stand, how do they feel when the man never calls them again? They may go into it agreeing that it's a one-night stand, but there's like this secret hope that maybe it'll lead to something more, especially if it was a very connecting experience. When I published Kosher Sex, we did a poll for the book that showed that, this is in England, it was a small sampling of a few hundred women, but 86% of the women polled said that if they had an incredible night of sex with a man who did not call them within 3 days, they buried the experience as a painful one. They felt abused and used, and even misled. But let me put the question. Can I just put one question to you? Let me put the question to you. If it's true that sex can be momentary and fleeting and deeply fulfilling, and that itself is something pleasurable, so would you have any problem with a single woman having that kind of momentary sexual experience with a married man?
Absolutely.
Now, why?
Because when you get married, you make a vow to not have sex with other
But she didn't make the vow. He made the vow.
Yeah.
Right, well, so you it would be upsetting because he made the vow and now he's breaking it.
Okay, but
You're also hurting another woman.
well,
his wife.
what if she'll never know? She'll never know, and she'll never be hurt.
You'll be sure.
Okay, well, what if we could sort of guarantee that she would never know? Should she do it just for the pleasure?
Who
Or
would single?
if the mother would never know. The mother would. I'm sorry, the wife would never know. I think mothers are very sexy. The wife would never find out, so she wouldn't hurt anyone. And he's betraying his vow. She's doing nothing wrong. Should she? And it's going to be a thrilling night of sex. Should she indulge?
Okay, we get this question a lot, like through emails and people that read our book.